right, so new movie Saturday night.
Okay.
Everyone's buzzing about it, right? The first SNL, behind the scenes, all that. Sounds amazing. But then the reviews come out.
Uh-huh.
And they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's our deep dive today.
Okay.
Is this thing worth your time? Or is it just for, like, the diehards, you know?
Well, and it's interesting because it's not even the whole SNL story. It's like laser focused
Really?
on those 90 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Before the first show.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's even more like pressure.
Intense.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
So you can imagine, right? All that chaos, the big personalities.
Everyone running around.
Exactly. And crammed into like
minutes before.
When it's, before Live from New York goes out for the first time.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's where this whole debate starts.
Okay.
Because the film's being called a love letter.
To, like, the early days.
Yeah, to Lorne Michaels, the whole...
The vision. Yeah.
The creation myth, but...
There's always a but.
Big but.
Okay.
A lot of the reviews are using this word, get ready for it, bland.
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 For something like that.
You'd expect...
That energy
that anything could happen.
Right. And it falls flat for some people.
So it's like a comedy sketch that...
Kind of, yeah.
Doesn't quite land the punchline.
Yeah.
And even with this, like, real-life drama...
I know, right?
To pull from...
Yeah. And one review even said it was like a...
Like a what?
Rushed dress rehearsal.
Oh, interesting.
All the running around, but none of the magic.
Oh, that makes me think of that movie about Milli Vanilli.
Oh, okay.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Right.
But it was still boring.
It's like, how do you do that?
Right.
How do you mess that up?
Is that what this is? But SNL.
That's the question.
Okay.
And it feeds into this other thing that keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to know SNL?
To get it.
To get this movie?
Like, do you need to know who's who and...
All the players.
All the players, yeah.
Interesting.
One review even called it unintelligible.
Wow.
If you're not
a fan.
A fan, yeah.
Okay, well, that's a little harsh.
It is a bit.
But is it just for the super fans then?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Right. Will people be lost?
Exactly. And it makes you think about the whole approach, right?
Okay.
Is it enough to just show the chaos?
Just the chaos.
Or do you need those characters too?
To like hook you.
To hook you, yeah.
Right. Because chaos without someone to root for is just messy.
It's just a mess.
Right. Speaking of rooting for, what about Dylan O'Brien?
Oh, see, he's interesting.
As Aykroyd.
As Aykroyd, yeah. The reviews love him.
Okay.
He's like the one bright spot.
Really?
One review said that O'Brien shines amidst the blob of blandness.
Ouch.
I know, right?
That's rough.
Not great.
So we've got potential pacing issues. Maybe a barrier to entry if you're not already obsessed.
Yeah, if you don't know the players.
Okay. What else? Anything else before we...
There's one more.
Right.
And I'm not making this up.
Okay.
One review compares the protagonist to a bag of onions in terms of being interesting.
A bag of onions?
Onions!
Okay, first of all, who are we even talking about?
This is Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels is the bag of onions.
Essentially, and the review doesn't say why.
But like, come on. Onions.
It's a bold choice.
Vidalia?
Yeah.
Was it at least a good onion?
They don't say, but it makes you wonder, did they capture him? The charisma.
Because he had that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even back then.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got chaos, onions.
Onions.
I'm kind of terrified of you.
A little bit. And it's funny you saying terrified.
Yeah.
Because one thing the reviews agree on.
Okay.
The look at the film.
Oh, really?
They love the period design.
So like you're really back in the 70s.
Totally. Like stepping back in time.
Bell bottoms, platform shoes.
The whole deal. 1975.
Studio 54, but with cue cards.
Right. Except there's a but coming.
Always a but.
The camera work. What's wrong with it?
Shaky, some people said.
Shaky how?
Like way too much.
Right.
Trying to be,
frantic, like the energy.
Yeah, but it's much
too much. So I'm trying to watch and it's like, I'm on a roller coaster.
Exactly. One even said...
What did they say?
Like that Goodfellas technique.
Oh, okay.
But not as good, obviously.
So not a good thing.
No, and it makes you wonder, right?
About what?
Is it all just style? No substance?
Ooh, that's the worry, right?
Big time.
Looks pretty, but that's it.
Because we've all seen those films.
Oh, yeah. Trailers are great.
Then the movie's a dud.
Is that Saturday night?
It could be.
Don't say that.
A lot of reviews say, yeah, visuals are great, but the story's thin.
Oh, come on.
They didn't go deep enough.
But there's so much there. With SNL,
Right. It's historic.
You'd think, easy story. And this is where that Oppenheimer thing comes in.
Okay, The Bomb and SNL.
Wild comparison, I know.
A little bit.
But the reviewers say
Okay.
both films, they're about birth
Okay.
of something huge E.
All right, I kind of see it.
Like, change the world.
SNL did, yeah.
Whether you love it or you hate it, it's huge.
50 years almost.
Right. That's saying something.
Still going.
Still relevant, but the movie,
Yeah.
does it get that weight?
Or is it just, like, behind the scenes running around?
That's what we need to know.
Because honestly, even me,
Yeah.
I love SNL,
Right?
but I'm starting to worry.
That it's all just
Hostile debate.
for super fans.
Right. If you weren't there, you won't get it.
That's the risk.
Like that feeling of,
When someone tells a joke.
and you're just like,
Oh,
what?
totally.
Okay, so we've got hype, maybe boring, onions,
Don't forget the onions.
and now this legacy question.
Yeah.
Is it a good movie on its own?
Big question mark.
All right, anything else to add to this pile before we try to sort it out?
One more thing.
Hit me.
This is big. One review mentions a scene.
Yeah.
So shocking, they call it blasphemous.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No details, though.
Blasphemous? On SNL.
Right. How's that even possible?
Show's wild. It always has been.
For like decades, they've gotten away with it.
What could be that shocking? Now I gotta know.
Right. What haven't we seen?
Okay, so that's our final mystery. But before we get there, let's back up for a sec, talk about this pacing issue.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how the movie was kind of a mess or maybe energetic, depending on who you ask.
Right. Like, did they nail that live TV feeling?
Exactly. So for you, dear listener, imagine watching.
Okay.
Is it going to feel like you're right there, chaos, the clock's ticking down?
You're part of it.
Or is it more like someone telling you a crazy dream?
I know. I hate that.
Vivid, but not the same, right?
Hard to translate that, you know?
Especially with SNL.
So much baggage there.
Right. Years of...
Expectations, inside jokes, all of it.
and how comedy's changed. What was edgy in 75?
Totally different now.
Which brings us back to that scene.
The blasphemous one.
Yeah, what could they show that's that bad nowadays?
Right. With SNL, they've done it all.
Cowbell. Justin Timberlake, come on.
Pushed every boundary.
So either the reviewers are being like super cryptic,
Trying to get us interested.
or there's something in this movie that'll make us gasp.
Maybe.
We're talking about a show that it's legendary for a reason.
It makes you think, right? What's shocking now?
Maybe that's the point, you know?
What do you mean?
Like, it's not shocking for what it is, but what it says.
About how we've changed.
Yeah. What we find funny now.
Fascinating, huh?
So the movie's like this weird time capsule then.
A little bit of that.
Not just the jokes, but how far we've come.
Or haven't, maybe.
Okay, so let's wrap this up.
What's the verdict?
Saturday Night. Sounds visually amazing.
Pretty to look at.
But story-wise, maybe not there.
Critics didn't love it.
Might only be for the diehards.
Unless...
The infamous one. Maybe it's that good.
Who knows? Stranger Things.
Right. So that's for you to decide.
Go see it. Tell us what you think.
Exactly. Hit us up on socials. Did you gasp? Were you bored? All that.
We want to know.
Until next time, happy watching. And remember, even the most controversial movies can spark a good conversation.